Hey everybody, welcome back. It's the Toy Duo team. We're going to be talking about action figure reveals and much, much more. Roll the music.
TV news, all the pop culture you can handle. You can have more action figures that will ever fit on your shelf.
They're blasting all the guys that
When
said
you
it.
have a plastic addiction and your shelves are overflowing, when you don't know what new is coming, but you fear you might miss out, just sit right back, just relax and watch and listen. The Toy Duo team brings you what you need. All the toy news you may not know you.
All right. I heard that Manchester United lost in a major upset.
Yeah,
Didn't want
yeah.
to bring it
I
up,
don't
but I
want.
think I should.
Oh yeah, thanks, Vern. Yeah, yeah. That was probably the most embarrassing performance in my lifetime that any United team has had. Yeah.
It's an interesting thing because I don't follow soccer at all, but it totally just came up on my feed. And I was like, oh, Eric's not going to be happy about that.
No, no, pretty dark,
Yeah.
pretty dark.
All right, let's get started. We got David R in the chat. Ricardo's here. That's Q. We'll get a couple more people. We're going to be talking about TVs and movies this week. I put a link for a review for the Toxic Avenger, which is one of the movies we'll kind of like tell you came out this week. That's Dean's movie review. So, you know, it's not like Siskel and Ebert or anything, but Jonathan Redmond is here. And let's get going. Okay, so just right before, I actually had a different screen on this, the gunship, because the first one I did was at like 10 o'clock this morning, and it was like at 3,900 or something like that. And then I saw a tweet right before we came up, and it said 50%. And I was like, I got to go check because I feel like they're playing wordy with like percentages there, right? Because 3,900 could be close to 50%. And then when I went and looked, I was like, oh, it's like 4,000 and like six. And before I could take the screenshot and put it in my PowerPoint thing, it jumped up to 4,017. So that's pretty good. 50%, still 9 days left.
Yeah, I'm still hopeful, but we'll see.
All right. Well, if you haven't already and you're one of the few people watching and you're into Star Wars, take a good long look because this may be your only opportunity to get a bigger gunship with some decals and stuff like that. So there was some updates, right?
Yeah,
There was the Star Wars TVC on Instagram. I guess at Read 5. Is that like a
Red
convention?
5. No, I think it's a toy store in Massachusetts.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
So apparently they had the Laat there, they had some stuff, and they revealed that they're going to be doing these additional decal sheets. I'm sure
yep.
these aren't the final ones, right? These are probably in process of what it's going to be, but you got what, like the Loth Cat or whatever, some additional stuff. So do you think that's what drove up the extra 50 backers? And
So I'm sure it helped. I haven't seen any footage from that event when they took the Lat to that toy store in Massachusetts. But
okay,
I earlier today I watched a video where Steve and Chris from Hasbro talked to the SWTVC guys on YouTube.
okay.
Um, I don't think this came up. I think this was just covered at the event at the like the roadshow. I'm sure it helped bring some backers up. What's it, the Nexu and the Plo Koon decals?
Okay, so here's Jonathan. Stickers, they might as well go all in and make patches.
Well, I think they're alternates to like what you have with the you've got the uh, Kit Fisto one and the Crumb Bomber one. So I think these are just alternates to that. I'm sure if they were allowed to make the Twi'lek pinup, sticker sheet, that probably would have helped a lot more, but I have to imagine someone out there is gonna make their own sticker sheet for that and sell it
Oh, I'm
on
sure.
Etsy or something.
This is
Yeah,
this is the problem with these decal sheets, right? Like I could print these out on my printer at home on a decal print page. So
right.
I can design my own decals for my stuff, and I don't really need them to do that, but it's nice that they're doing it. I have never applied one decal to any of the Haslabs. I got all the sheets like lying around in different corners of the rooms. So even if I got this, I doubt I would put any stickers on it anyways. But they did pipeline reveal a couple of figures, right? An updated Padme and Shai
Shakti.
Shakti. But have both of these figures been out in the vintage collection?
I I don't know enough about, like, the history of, like, previous incarnations. I don't think so, or if they did have them, they didn't have more of the modern articulation.
Oh, okay.
I
Now
I
we
I'm the wrong person to speak to all that history, but
Okay, so here's my issue with them announcing these figures, right? Like, so they announced these figures are coming out. Did they caveat it and say if the lat backs, these figures will be mainlined, or
no.
you know what I
Well, I
mean?
don't know. I didn't see the event, but the way that I've heard them talk about the campaign is that, like, they've got products that are gonna come out regardless of whether the lat funds or not.
Okay,
I have to imagine there are different, like, s plans for whether the lat funds or not. There are certain products that they have in the pipeline that might just get thrown out if it doesn't fund, and that's probably why they're not being, or probably part of the reason why they're not being as transparent with all the pipelines is because some of it really is contingent on the lat backing, but we'll see.
right. So we were talking a little bit off camera, and I was saying, like, wouldn't it have been cooler to like say the battle torn Padme would be like to me like the figure I would want with the pack because they were in the arena, they got attacked by the creatures. Her outfit was pretty ripped up by the time we get that lat coming in. So to throw in the regular outfit to me is like, oh, maybe they should have just did that little shiny speeder then, or
Because that's
space.
not really from the battle itself, right? It's before
Right.
the battle,
It's
right?
before.
And then as a play feature, you can have Padme in the lat and just, like, knock her out in the sandbox.
Right. So let's see. Hold on. Ricardo saying there are previous versions of the figure, but as not as articulate as TVC, right? Jonathan saying if the lat doesn't fund, I can see prequel stuff getting really cut back to just a
Yep.
few figures and Hasbro never talking about it again. He also said that he thinks FOMO is going to obviously kick in, which is fear of missing out. I could kind of agree that there's going to be some people wanting to back it because they don't want to miss the opportunity, right? I really thought the Rancor would fund because of that. Because I mean, who doesn't want a Rancor, basically, right? Or to see pictures with like a Rancor. And I think this is kind of the same thing. But that same argument, I did do a video earlier in the week where I talk about like value for dollar because something else we'll talk about later on. But I kind of looped that in there because it does seem quite expensive to me, right? Um, One of the things that bugged me and is one of the posts that popped up earlier today is Yakface is also sharing like this information about these cards and stuff like that. But one of the pictures they showed was of the cockpit, and
Mm.
it showed the control panels, and they said the control panels are like see-through, like clear plastic or whatever, like kind of. And they said so you could customize it with lights. That to me is like a complete slap in the face to say you can customize your $450 spaceship with lights and the dashboard will look fantastic instead of just saying, hey, you know what? We're going to throw a light in there.
So I remember seeing, I can't remember where it was, but I remember seeing some interview with Chris from Design
Uh-huh.
talking about lights and sounds and whatnot. And I'm paraphrasing, um, but I'm positive I heard him say, if to the point of, we're experts in engineering these, you know, toys to be
Right.
toys. We're not like, we don't, Hasbro doesn't have all of the electrical engineering know-how. That's, I mean, they do have people that are electrical engineers, because I talked to one of them at Star Wars Celebration who like worked on the proton pack and for Ghostbusters and lightsabers and the Ecto One and Haslab and whatnot. So it is possible, but it's not their like, you know, it's not their bread and butter to deal with that kind of stuff. So what he was essentially saying is, we could do it, but it's going to cost us at Hasbro much more to figure out how to engineer that thing to be produced in an effective way, to be like structurally sound and also accommodate all the necessary electronics.
So
I'm not defending the position, but his response was like, if we were to do that, it would cost so much more for us to figure out how to do it.
yeah, which I call total BS on that. Because exactly what Jonathan's saying right now is like every single other
I,
HasLab has lights
mhm.
in it, right? Even the
I'm
failed engines of Vengeance had lights, right? The
I
every
yeah,
I mean, they can't walk across the hall and say, "Hey, Lenny, how did you get those lights in that snowcat?"
I'm
Oh,
not
it's we just had
yeah,
somebody glue a wire on the side of the plastic.
I'm not defending it,
No, I get it.
much as I'm just regurgitating the point that was being made. I think
Uh-huh.
one potential difference is that it's like 375 versus 6-inch scale with those other vehicles, and there might be more wiggle room
Okay,
with the
well,
plastic. I'm not defending it. It's just a possibility. Would I, right? Like, I'd like more value for my money too, but
I
just
mean, like, so we're going to talk about pickups, and this is going to, I mean, surprise! I bet there's the cantinas are shipping out, and they made room for the lights, right? Like that's Jonathan reminded me that the cantina tables and stuff like that, they said, oh, these have lights, and even they had like those little windows in the booths where they said,
yeah,
oh, there's
red and
lights,
blue
right?
lights. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And the lights come through the back window, and then look, the back of the booths isn't even finished, so there's no way for us to run a wired light across this unfinished back of a booth. It will be impossible.
Every Everything is possible. It's just, is it possible at the desired price point? Because they're going to have margins they are required
Yeah, I
to
get
hit.
it. I
Right.
mean, okay, so in the defense, I will say in the defense, if you ever watch this guy who runs this Valaverse, right? He used to be a product designer for Hasbro, and
Mm,
he's talking about Yondu. I think it was Yondu that he was on that Guardians of the Galaxy with the Yondu, and there was something about the arrow, right? Like, oh, he's got to have his arrow, but they had to cut something else to get the arrow, right? Like they had to give up something to get the arrow because they had to design everything under this
yep.
penny or something like that. So I do understand that, but you're talking about a dream project, right? You're talking about, a HasLab campaign, which is supposed to be a one-off. Because honestly, if they reuse this mold in the future, to make like a retail version of a gunship, I don't know what the difference is going to be, right? Like at least
Yep.
with the Hiss tank, the retail version won't have lights. The retail version of the Snowcat won't have lights, right? But what's the retail version of this gunship going to be 7 years from now? It's going to be exactly the same as the HasLab. And oh, maybe it won't have the two pilots, but other than that, I just think that like yeah, it's a cutting corner.
Mm,
Yeah. Anyways, let's see. I have 6-inch figures that light up eyes. That's in a pop-off head. There's no way on earth that a cantina booth can't light in it. Well, no, because you can put your own lights in the cantina booth. But with that said, I saw the prototype in person. It did look freaking awesome, right?
Mhm.
If I had space for it, if I was collecting TVC, I'd probably have already backed it, just because it does look pretty iconic. All right. So I'm just wondering, to me, about these, these two figures. They're going to have to probably, they should start announcing a whole bunch more this week.
I
With
don't Yeah, I'm not sure how much Padme in that outfit would have helped people back,
uh-huh.
to be honest. Shop T maybe, because they've got other Jedi potentially with the tiers.
So do you think
Um,
more world building stuff would get people excited to do to back it?
yeah, I think if like for example, if they were to go and say, "Hey, if the canteen or not the canteen, if the lap backs, right,
Hmm.
we're going to make a forward command center playset." Just as an example, that is like something that's conditional based on the lap backing. I think that would get some people interested in backing. I think also some potential for like some other you know blast effects for the lat as well as like an
Man,
add-on.
after hearing you say that one time about the laser effects, right?
Mhm.
And I made that little video, the intro
Yeah,
video, and seeing the lasers come out of it, I'm like, that is to me, the biggest miss.
yeah,
Yeah, on the thing. Because, I mean, like, every GI Joe ship comes with missiles, with like smoke trails and stuff like that. Even their retail stuff, you know what I mean, has smoke
yeah.
trails with the rocket launches and stuff like that. And this one, I mean, I guess you can always steal your GI Joe ones to put with that. Maybe they'll work, but
And I guess
they're not
there
lazy.
would be the small vehicles like the Bark Speeder and
Yeah.
the AT-RT.
Uh-huh.
That would be the I think there's probably a little bit more they could do to say, like, if it backs, we're doing this,
Right.
right? But I don't think that they're going to be that transparent with, like, the products that are conditional or potentially conditional based on the Haslab
Right.
funding.
All right. Well, it's moving along pretty well, I would say. With 9 days left, it's over 50%. So that's pretty good. They once again they did release that they were going to do some sticker packs. I mean, decals, whatever it is, and they pipelined a couple additional figures. So, I mean, I think they need to do a lot of advertising this week and a half
You'd
just to
think
get this
so.
thing going. Because hopefully, because if I don't see anything until the last couple of days, I just feel like they've given up.
Yeah, well, the only other thing that I'm aware of that they did was they sent the one designer, Chris, to
Uh,
San Francisco, uh,
okay.
with the lat to go to Lucasfilm headquarters.
Okay.
So that happened a while ago, but I don't think anything was shared about that visit or like there was any marketing done to like
Okay. Well,
on
maybe,
the Star Wars front. Yeah.
yeah, maybe that'll be something that they do. That would be kind of cool. Yeah. All
Star
right.
Wars socials should minimally be helping out a little bit
Yeah,
more, you'd
I think
think.
for the most part, right? My video probably didn't help. Um, all right. So this crowd fund got extended and funded with their target of 6,000 backers. They still got 3 more days with their extension because they were supposed to be done, right? Like it was supposed to be done on August 28th, but they
Mm,
decided to go to September 2nd. So that is
it
funded. And I heard a lot of people were complaining. They were saying, like, instead of just extending it, why don't you just let everybody have the early bird piece? Because that early
mm,
bird figure is not available to everyone. Like if you're backing now, you're not getting that, from my
mm.
understanding. And anyways, that's another crowd fund that's out there. So move on. Have you been hearing all the tariff news?
No, I've been in a bit of a bubble this past week dealing with some other stuff.
All right. So what it really just means is there's no change, right? There's tariff rates for all these countries or whatever. there's a thing called the de minimis rule, and it was really for people to receive merchandise or receive something in the mail less than $800 and not have to pay duty on it. So everybody got upset because that went away for like everybody now as of Friday, which means if you buy something from a country, from another country, and it's
Yeah.
being shipped direct to you, there's a duty rate, an ad valorem or whatever. I took this off of a website. So there's a duty rate that goes along with it. So every country has its own duty rate. So if it's like $5 and it's like a 10% duty, it's 10% of the $5. But there's also a specific duty, which they're going to allow for like 6 months, which is like a flat rate duty. And it basically is anywhere between 80 and $200. So it's like 80, 125 or 200 or something like that are the flat rates. But it's based on whatever country it's coming from and whatever their duty rate. So if it's like at the low duty rate, it'll be 80. If it's got a medium duty rate, it'll be like the middle number. If it's got a high duty rate, it'll be a $200 flat fee. So the thing is like there was some talk earlier that was kind of like saying, if I order a $5 item from Temu or something, I'm going to pay $80. Well, no, right? That's not how it works. It depends on how it gets imported or whatever. So you're not going to be paying $80, but I guess it could be if you bought like a $1,000 item, it might be beneficial to take the flat rate. Right, instead of paying the whatever the duty is on it. Anyways, but that's only going to be available for 6 months. And then of course, if you were sending or receiving a gift from somebody in another country, they bought you something or they're sending you a gift, you can still receive a gift that's less than $100. So I mean, and then the thing is, this went up in arms because a bunch of postal carrier services from around the world just stopped all shipments out of their countries to the US. That's what happened. And really, it was like Australia to here and stuff like that, because this actually went away for China back in May. So, most probably direct to consumer cheap stuff wasn't really affected by what happened Friday. But anyways.
And this doesn't take effect for like us buying or like Hasbro's importing
No,
figures, right?
because they're going to import their merchandise to the US in bulk, pay whatever the percentage is, and then we're buying it from them and they're shipping it from
Okay.
the US.
It's different different rates associated with that kind of business.
I imagine this would be something like I buy something from maybe Ramen Toy and they ship it directly to me, right? Like a tank is the tank is like $200 or whatever. They're going to ship it to me. There is a duty rate now that I have to pay off that $200, whatever their duty, which I don't know what their duty rate is. Say it's 10%, then I got to pay 10% of 200. Right? Or they figure out some other way to ship it in bulk to a warehouse here. Because I think that's what Temu did. They set up a warehouse, they shipped a bunch of stuff, imported a bunch of stuff. Now, if you buy off Temu, it just comes from whatever that warehouse is in the States.
Got it.
Yeah. Okay. Anyways, just wanted to mention it because I've been seeing some back and forth on social media.
Got it.
All right. You want to talk about these?
Yeah, I mean, you wanted to.
Okay, so here's kind of my conversation. I really liked the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive, and I'm really happy that they didn't just make a whole bunch of them and just sell them. Like I felt like they did with the Cold Slither, where it was supposed to be an exclusive, but it feels like they just are making more. I think these guys had the plan with this is to make the set with the extras and then sell the figures as singles, which is what I would normally hold on. So Jonathan's saying Japan Post and Australia Post won't ship to the US right now. That's because they're still working out their internal system on how to calculate the duties or whatever. So that's why I'm saying everything's on hold. It was like it's a big deal, right? Like, but getting back to this, so this is the Anakin Skywalker and Obi-Wan Kenobi. It was the new figures, the new body sculpts, the new heads, and then the Comic-Con exclusive came with the Force hands, extra head sculpts, the two bases, the lava flow, and a whole bunch of lightsaber blades and stuff like that. And then just like I thought that they were going to do is that they put out the single release of the figures, which I think is fantastic because I think the updated figures should get to every collector, right, that wants them. That's how I feel about it. I feel like the exclusive was an extra pack with some of the extra accessories, but then I saw what they offered with just the figures. And man, I am very disappointed in these guys because if you go back to that blue stripe box of that Anakin, he came with both head sculpts.
Sith and Jedi.
Yeah.
Heads,
and when you're talking about Revenge of the Sith or whatever and Anakin, that's important to have that transitionary head in my mind. I can see, okay, maybe not the Force hand, right? Maybe that was part of the pack, or maybe they do something like that later on. And maybe Kenobi didn't need the extra head sculpt, but Anakin should have had the extra head sculpt. And
yeah.
in this pack. And I really think that was really cheap to not do it. And the reason why I say that is because it makes me realize that you're going to buy that body, one for Anakin and one for Kenobi, twice. Because now they're going to re-release Anakin with the alternate head sculpt and probably re-release Kenobi with the alternate head sculpt. Oh. So you you know what I mean? So you got to buy that updated body 2 times. So you're going to be paying $100. I don't know. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, there's precedent for having Anakin with the 2 heads. So that's probably the most frustrating. I think what bothers me more than the extra head sculpt, because I have the SDCC set,
Sure.
is that they don't have the robes. It should just be a requirement. All prequel Jedi must have robes.
What about Force hands?
For that
Jonathan's saying they should all come with Force hands.
I don't disagree. Robes would be higher on my list than Force hands. But if I were to tier it, they should all come with the robes and then Force hands if possible. Anakin's the weird one with the alternate head sculpt. I can't recall what the other figures are in this specific wave, but I know how, like, we've seen how Hasbro gets around these types of things with other waves where they pack all of the features into certain figures, and then like maybe there's 1 or 2 figures in a wave where it's really skint on accessories. Right. I would rather have them do that with some other background character that gets a lot of reuse or whatever, and just go all. I mean, these are main characters. You would expect, the whole shebang, right? I would rather them like put out another Mon Mothma or like Morgan Elsbeth type figure that comes with next to nothing, or nothing, not next to nothing, nothing. I'd rather have them do that than leave us wanting a little bit more with these figures. But it's possible. I mean, another route could have been they just make these figures deluxe. They could have thrown all of those in and not made them a part of like a mainline wave, and just throw in more than the extra head sculpt and Force hands and call it deluxe.
Well, that's what I think is going to end up happening, right? You're going to when you get the alternate head sculpts, I think it's going to be an Anakin Obi-Wan like 2-pack, and then they probably do the alternate head, maybe throw in the Force hands, and then charge you $60 to $75 for it.
I think for 60 to 75, I'd expect a little bit more. Or
Uh-huh.
are you saying
Okay, maybe
combined
they
for
throw
two
in all the
figures?
lightsaber blades, since it's a battle pack.
Mm,
So everything except for the stand, and then one extra head, just the head that comes on it, the battling heads, the Force hands, and then all the lightsaber blades, and then they charge you $75. And then next year, they release the versions with the robes.
yeah.
I mean, they are
Yeah.
going to maximize their profits on these new
Oh, they
bodies.
have to. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd expect them to.
Yeah.
It would have been real cool if they did something with and they could have done some like not like an SDCC set, but like some deluxe like 3-pack with all the accessories, and then you get an Anakin, like a burnt Anakin torso.
Okay, so Ricardo's saying it's Anakin, Kenobi, a Sand Trooper, the Stranger, and a new clone commander.
Yeah, like I mean, the Stranger Chimere, right? That requires a lot of deco and whatnot, rightfully so. The clone commander's a lot of reuse, so would be the Sand Trooper, but like they could have probably picked some other characters from like Andor or something, to like Melshi or something. I don't know.
Okay.
Or yeah, I don't know. There could have been
Yeah.
there are opportunities to do more with this. This won't be the last time we see these molds, right?
Yeah. Well, Bender's saying that honestly, after paying $6 for a figure at Ross, I can't go back to paying $110 for 2 figures. I can see what he's saying for the most part, because it's hard going from Ross over to a Target when you find, like, say, the Strange Tales Marvel Legends for $5.99, and then you run over to Target and everything's like $25. But with that said, when they came out with this pack, it's kind of like you're paying the price to get that diorama piece, which to me is like the key to this, right? Like it's pretty fantastic to me. It's well built. They stay on it. You know what I mean? Like, I think they did a good job. It's going to look fantastic when I finally make room on my shelf for it. All the extra lightsaber blades, I don't need all of them. I probably could have done with like
Some
two,
swooshes. Yeah.
two of those swishing blades or whatever. The sparkling thing, I'm probably never going to use. It's going to end up getting lost. But definitely the Force hands, right? The extra head sculpts, and knowing that they're selling these 2 figures for $25 a piece is making me go, okay, so $25 a piece is just what's standing on top of the rest of the thing. So I paid basically $60 for that diorama piece, all those blades, the extra heads, the Force hands. You know what I mean? And I'm like, oh, okay, well, that's what I paid for. Plus it was a convention thing, so you got to add the markup there, right, for being a convention. But other than that, I mean, like, I was really disappointed, especially in this Anakin, that he didn't come with the alternate head sculpt. That's the bottom line for me. Should have came with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. And that's what made me go back to that Laat and take a look at it and go, man, yeah, they should have put lights or something in this thing. You know what I mean? For $450.
To me, it's just signaling that production costs are going up and up, and Hasbro's not going to eat into their margins, so it's just not looking good for us.
Right. And yeah, I didn't even want to go into all the excuses that guy made. He's the same guy that turned off the pinball machine because a kid wanted to have fun at Comic-Con. Right. Anyways, all right. Enough of that. Let's move on. Dave's Dimension said that he tapped out of the Black Series a long time ago. Here is bragging camp. Do you have anything that you want to show off this week?
Yeah, I have one thing.
Okay.
It's kind of hard. I wonder if should I do this through my phone?
You know what? Let me. What you want to get that ready, and I'll just show off the
Yeah,
one
yeah.
thing that I got. I was super happy because Walmart had canceled my order, and then a couple of days later, I was able to reorder. So I was pretty sure I was getting canceled again, but I did get the 1977 Spider-Man. So I was pretty happy
Oh,
to pick
nice.
that up. Yeah.
I thought I saw today those went back in stock.
Yeah, they
Or
went back in stock, but I mean, they're actually more expensive back in stock than they were when I ordered this guy. So I was kind of glad I was able to get it. And then, of course, I'll just show these. This is the guy that I got for $5.99 at Ross yesterday. I have not been able to find any of the other ones. When I was walking through the checkout, I found the Cassian Andor from Andor for $5.99 also. So I picked him up because why not? For $5. All right, I'm going to add Eric's super camera, and let's just make that one full screen. Oh, hold on. Well, you muted both your mics.
can you hear me okay?
Yes. Yeah.
Hold on.
You want to turn it horizontally?
Yep. Well, so I just got the Cantina. Wait, why can't?
Because we're looking at you. You don't have your front-facing camera on.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to switch it.
Oh, hold on.
There we go. Hold on.
Okay.
It says it's front camera. Let's try back.
Oh, back camera. There you go. Ooh, look at that. The Cantina's in the house.
So it's weird. It's inverted for some reason. Hold on. This is freaking me out. Come on. Bad camera.
How
Yeah.
big is the Cantina box compared to the Ghost?
It's a lot smaller. It's about half the size.
How big is that Cantina box compared to a shoe box?
That is probably like 6 to 8 shoe boxes big.
Okay, 6 to 8 shoe boxes.
I've got a lot of cardboard. Here, let me do this. So I got the deluxe one, and it comes with an extra setup right here that I took off. I was just going to pull out the figures if you guys want to see those.
Sure.
Here, let me just leave this. There we go. You can. This is why I'm not a content creator. I just go up.
Well, that's the way it works. I mean, everybody's the same. Look at that. Perfect out of the box. No, this cardboard backing should not be bent.
I don't think it is it?
No, I'm just saying the card back should be perfect.
Yeah. So Greedo and Nabrin leads on the bottom. The Tanaka sisters and Wooher. So
how do you feel about that Greedo being part of Haslab?
Probably wouldn't have been one of my choices because they're guaranteed to do Greedo again anyway, right?
Well, I don't know now because it's locked behind a Haslab.
Well, but you know what they do? Like they can release figures on the alternate card backs, right? So yeah. Sorry, that was a really shitty.
I thought we were getting those figures cut out of the card backs. I thought we were getting them ripped off those card backs, showing us all the articulation.
No, not until I have another Cantina coming. So I got a second really just for the figures. So if anyone's interested in getting a deluxe Cantina without figures, come talk to me. But
A whole cantina with no figures.
Yes, correct.
Okay.
It might be a product that Hasbro produces. I don't know.
All right. If anybody's interested, Eric, you can
Yeah.
find him on Instagram. Just hit him up on a DM.
Yep. So, but yeah, it's much smaller than the Ghost box. It's a little bit thicker. I'm just looking at my Ghost box off to the side. So, yeah, it's a little bit thicker, but it's a lot smaller.
How hard would it be to throw one box on top of the other one?
I'm not doing that
Okay.
because the other box is just empty. I haven't moved it to its
Okay.
resting spot, so it'll collapse the box. Yeah.
So you got to keep it. Okay. At what point do you say, I'm going to break the box down and fold it flat because we actually need the space in our house?
I'll be looking for a new house before I do that. Maybe. I don't
Okay.
know. No, I don't know. It just needs to go in the attic. So
Okay. All right. Anyways, here is the TV and movie news you didn't know you needed. I'm trying my hardest to actually read what I wrote on there. That's probably not going to happen every time. The Thunderbolts is available on Disney Plus finally. So if you haven't seen it, this is your opportunity to see Thunderbolts. And then Terminal List. Did you watch the original Terminal List?
no, I've never even heard of it.
So I feel like the Terminal List was when they came back from the future to get soldiers to go into the future and fight a war in the future. Something like that. Am I right on that? You guys in the chat, let me know. I think that was the Terminal List. This is like supposedly the origin story of the Terminal List. I feel like that was the story because it's a Chris Pratt movie, and I think he goes into the future to fight a war or something like that.
Yeah,
What?
yeah, Terminal List is a Chris Pratt movie. I've
Okay, yeah.
Googled.
So this is supposedly the origin story of this.
Was that even a good movie? The Chris Pratt one?
Well, no. See, Jonathan is saying Terminal List was about the guys getting drug tested on them. Wrong movie, Vern. You're thinking about Future War. Okay, Future War was good. Was this Terminal List thing any good then? Because, oh, you know what? I turned it off. I did start watching the Terminal List. He was all like freaking out or something like that, and thought everybody was after him or something. Is that what this was? Okay, if that's what. So this is they should have just made a sequel, an update to the other one because that one was actually pretty good. So, anyways, they have another movie on Prime called Terminal List Dark Wolf. Jonathan saying it was awesome, but I remember if I'm thinking of the same movie, I feel like I turned that one off. For some reason, maybe I need to go back and finish watching it, and then I'll like it. The other thing that came out, I'm doing this. Came out is the Toxic Avenger came out this week at the theater, and as you can see in the promo shot, Danny DeVito reprises his role as the Penguin. I don't know who that is in there.
You don't know who that is?
No.
That's Frodo. That's Elijah Wood.
Oh, is it? So Elijah Wood reprises the role of Cobblepot?
Yeah, Oswald Cobblepot.
Okay. Is that who he's supposed to be?
No.
Okay, so
some other character. Yeah.
Okay, so let's see. Terminal List was awesome. Jonathan saying the troops being sent to the future movie was pretty rough, in my opinion. Okay, so he didn't like that one. So we're not going to the theater together ever to watch a movie. Anyways, Dean from Geek Strong, he did a review. I pinned it at the top if you want to watch his review. I've watched some of his reviews, and he doesn't ever spoil the movie. So I don't know if it would hurt if he spoiled this one or not. I don't think it really makes that much of a difference.
Did you see did you see there was a commercial for Liquid Death like flavored water that uh what's his name Peter Dinklage did as the Toxic Avenger. That was really
No,
funny. If you haven't
no, I
seen
didn't
that,
see that.
look that up. I'm sure it's on
Okay,
YouTube. Yeah.
all right, that's pretty cool. I'll check it out. I like theme stuff and stuff like that. I saw that the Netflix show about the Addams Family kid had like
Mm,
some cereal boxes, but
okay.
I'm like, I took a picture of them and I posted them, and everybody, I was like, are these good to eat any other day of the week or whatever, as like a joke, and then like everyone was telling me they're not even good to eat on Wednesday, and I'm thinking there's probably a bunch of people who are going to run out and buy that cereal just to save the cereal box, right? But I imagine that the cereal is like getting Frankenberries or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I haven't eaten sugary stuff like that. You're gonna have company here in a minute.
Yeah, he's coming to sniff new boxes, new smells.
All right. Anyways, let's do the hot or not section. These are the toys revealed that you didn't know you needed. And when I started looking, I wasn't sure there was going to be a whole lot except for that Anakin Skywalker and Obi-Wan Kenobi. But I will start with this. If you are not a recurring member of Marvel Unlimited, where you read all your comics on your phone, iPad, or computer, and at the appropriate tier where you get like one of these like little boxes from them every year that has like a patch, a sticker, an actual comic book, some other type of a sheet, and an action figure. Um, I think it's worth it just for like the collectible pack that you get every year. This is the reveal for the members pack that's coming out for this year. So it's
Yeah,
going to be the patch, the comic, and then the Spider-Man carded Spider-Woman figure.
the black one. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
So this was
I'm a Marvel Unlimited subscriber, but I've never signed up for the
so you
like
don't get the
premium one. Nah, I don't
you
get
don't
the
have the
stuff.
premium. So some of the figures have been pretty good. They did a Kitty Pryde a couple of years ago where she was like the the pirate one, whatever, where she has like the swashbuckler sword. I think they did a different colored Nova. Um, they did a Punisher Venom one year. That was kind of cool. So
Oh, really? Huh. Okay.
yeah, so some of the figures are pretty cool. I thought I had the boxes down here. I was going to grab one, but I think I got them shoved on that cabinet that I can't get to right now because of the Rattler boxes in the way.
Those have to be some of the most rare Marvel Legends, you'd
Probably.
think.
You know what's interesting though is when you go to Comic Con and you're a member, you just stop by the Marvel booth and there's always some sort of like an extra thing you can pick up while you're there, which is like usually a pen or something like that. And this year I got like a special Herbie pen. And then there was like a limited series, like alternate cover for a comic that I was able to get. And sometimes they'll actually just give you the figure pack, like the set with the figure and the patch and stuff like that. They got it
Oh,
like in
cool.
plastic bags, and sometimes they'll just give you that. And it's kind of cool because then you could pick up one that you haven't gotten before. Like I got the purple Deadpool last year or the year before. I had missed that one, and they had those there, so they were giving those away. I was able to grab one. So
Nice.
did you see this?
No.
Okay, so Tomy or whatever, they came out with that 1/10 scale Back to the Future DeLorean that
Okay.
they crowdfunded or whatever, are going to be doing the same thing with the Knight Rider vehicle. So this is a 1/10 scale Knight Rider vehicle, and it just looks awesome. It looks like it's going to have everything, right? Like it's got the front grille that comes out. It's got all the different like parts. It's got like lights and stuff like that. And I think this is going to be around 350 bucks or something like that.
Oof.
But yeah, it's die cast. Um, let's see, check that out. You got all the details in there. There's lights, right? I'm sure that front panel light's going to be like moving. Um, Kit's voice modulator, right, is in there. I wonder if it'll actually speak. I didn't really see whether or not it was going to speak or not, but yes, it's Tommy. Yeah, Tommy. It
You said it's 1/10.
Yeah, it's a 1/10
So,
scale. So
so is that
I
like
would
is that like McFarlane
so
7 inch?
So kind of, but not really, right? Like, so people that have gotten that DeLorean were able to get Marty McFly in the seat of the DeLorean. And I've seen
Mm,
like the videos where they have him sitting in there, but they couldn't get Doc Brown to really sit in there and then be able to close the door all the way. He fit in the seat, but he was a little bit too big because he's taller. So the thing is with like Marvel Legends and stuff like that, they say they're 6-inch figures and they call them 1/12 scale, but they're a little bit off. So this guy, one of the videos that I watched on the 1/10 scale DeLorean showed like a variety of different figures in there, like the John
mm,
Wick figure or whatever. And it seemed like you could put like a good size 6-inch figure, like maybe a Legends figure in there, and it would look kind of okay.
mm.
So I'm thinking, well, let's see. I think he's missing up here. I did that custom. Yeah, he's somewhere in a pile. My stuff gets messed up because I keep taking stuff down to do pictures. Here he is. I did my Michael Knight figure, right? And I'm thinking maybe I should back that thing and then see how this guy fares in there. And then if it doesn't really look that great, I can just sell the car.
I mean, I guess like worst case scenario, you could put something under his butt to sit him up a little bit more, right?
Right. I mean, like realistically, just like having him standing in front of the vehicle would look pretty cool, right? Like even that little fantastic car popcorn bucket probably wasn't a proper scale anyways,
Yeah,
right? But it still looked pretty good in like the
close and
picture. Like it
sure.
looked like it went with them.
Right.
Um and then like even the gridiron cars and stuff like that, the guys fit in there, but the fits really tight and stuff. Even the ramen van kind of had some seating issues with like bigger figures or whatever. So it's all a matter of like the right size body, but overall it looked pretty good. And this crowdfund's going to open up, I think, in about 20 days. So
So, uh, I never watched Knight Rider,
uh-huh.
but the car talked, right?
Right.
This
That's what I
talks.
don't know.
This has to talk, right? That has
I
to
would
be a
hope
feature.
I would hope that it has some voice thing in there. Now I know it has the voice modulator that's like lit up, it looks like.
Yeah, but that's
Um,
just like
yeah, but I didn't see anything saying that it actually had any phrases. And that would be, I mean, I imagine they're fully licensed, so you'd think it should, right?
yeah, that
So
would be diabolical if
yeah,
something like that didn't come with the sounds. And
right.
you know what would be like an easy way around something like that would be give a feature to like record your own like like
But
five
do it
sets
in the
of
voice of Kit
y-
where you can
yeah, just
record
play
your own.
some YouTube videos
Yeah.
like up to the speaker or whatever and do like recordings that way. That if they couldn't if they couldn't use the actual voice and pre-package that that would for me something like that would have to be uh, a key feature of uh, this
Right.
vehicle.
And it's interesting too because that DeLorean sold. You know what I mean? It met all its backer things and like that. And there was like a little Einstein dog that it went with it, but it was just molded. It wasn't even like an action figure. It
Yeah,
was just like in the sitting position or whatever. And
yeah,
I
I
think to
remember hearing
myself,
about that.
like, I mean, these guys are making this quality die cast thing with all of these details, lights, and everything. You know what I mean? And it's selling for about the price of a Haslab. And then we look at the Haslab and we go, oh, okay, it's made of plastic and they can't even put lights in it because it's too scientifically impossible for them to figure out how to put the cheapest LED bulbs in a thing.
I mean, w- going back to that for just a second,
Uh-huh.
whether we like it or not, they're
Uh-huh.
basically saying adding those features would cost more.
Right.
right? So with that product being expensive already, right? It's not like the designers are pricing that out, right?
I
It,
get it. It's the company, and you would think that. Uh, do you ever watch Shark Tank?
not really.
Okay, so I saw this guy, and he made this thing for pickup trucks, and it was like this little.
Truck nuts?
No, it's like a little metal bar system that like you would extend these like posts, and then you would have this rack over the back of your pickup truck, and you could put wood on it or whatever and strap it on there. It was like a work
Okay,
truck. So it made it
sure.
look like a work truck. And then he had it designed to where like after work, when it's not in use, you could collapse everything and it would be hidden in the bed of the truck, basically, like, but still in there. And then when you drove it around, it was like your night truck, your evening truck, your go out truck, or whatever. You know what I mean? So it's like
Right.
you could have a really nice fancy truck, but like by day it could be like utilitized or whatever. And he made this like rack system and he was selling them. Now these guys were like telling him he had a factory and he had like 50 employees or something like that. And he was they wanted to buy in. They wanted to pay him what he wanted, but they wanted like 51% control, or I don't know what it was, but they wanted to be able to move production to another country. And he was insistent that he wanted the jobs here, that he wanted the factory here.
Hmm.
And what they were basically trying to tell him was like, listen, you're selling like $500,000 worth of this stuff a year and you can pay your 50 employees. But if you outsource it, you know what I mean? You
You
would be
can scale.
selling like $5 million worth of them a year, and your 50 employees would now have desk jobs. And it would probably be like 80 employees or 100 employees, but they would all have like a higher,
Right.
not a manufacturing job. They
You
would.
get more economies of scale with the,
Yeah.
you know,
And they just could not convince him of it. And it was just weird to me. So like with like the Haslab, right? Like I think like they say, oh yeah, it's gonna cost more. But honestly, like Jonathan said earlier, the Haslabs are funded by the backers, pretty much all of it. And adding the lights, yeah, say it's gonna cut into our bottom line. So we can't afford to pay this to have this like $30 per unit cost. But then all of a sudden you add this feature and instead of selling 8,000, you sell 20,000. You know what I mean? So the amount of sales you get make up for, to me.
yeah, it's it's tough because I'm not sure cockpit instrument lights for
Not
the lat
just cockpit instrument lights though, right? Like the little side bubbles have like lights in
the
them so you
green
can see
light.
the gunners. The interior cabin area, when you have those guys, they have like the lights set up in there also. You would add potentially like a laser cannon which has a light behind it where the thing gets illuminated. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, if they found a way to have some um, like transparent uh plastic piece that would somehow illuminate green when it's like snapped in or into the bubbles
Yeah,
turret,
well,
right?
like a fiber
Yeah,
optic type thing that's
right.
like hard, yeah, where
Yeah,
the
some
light
it,
source is at the beginning. Yes.
right. That would, yeah. I guess I'm still in the camp of that doesn't matter that much to me. I'm
Mhm.
not sure.
But I wonder how many people would think like would look at it and then look at that price point and say, "Oh yeah, because they went all out. Check out all these."
Okay, so because it is higher and right, sure, fine. I see that argument. For me, I kind of attribute the price hike to inflation,
Yeah,
and
and I attribute the difference between GI
Razor
Joe and Star
Crest.
Wars to
Oh,
the
yeah.
license fee,
And
right?
right, you're
Yeah.
going to be paying more because it's Star Wars, and it's more expensive than the Razor Crest because of inflation. So,
Yeah, so somebody tried to like claim like that lat should be $600 anyways because of inflation. Because if you look at 2021 prices is when they came out with the Razor Crest versus 2025, and you put like $1 into an inflation calculator, it's $2 today. So for every $100, it's $200. So if you paid $300 for the Razor Crest, $600. But to me, that's not exactly how inflation works, because a Black Series in 2021 was $25. And today it's $25. So your inflation calculator did not change the price of that Black Series.
Well, no, back then it was 20.
No, that's the year that it went up to 25. They first went to 22 something. I went and did my research when I was arguing with the dude about the inflation calculator. It was like it went up to like 22 something, and then by the end of 2021 it was $25.
I thought they were 20 for a lot longer than that.
Yeah,
but...
so those credit collections, or the Chrome ones that they came out with that year, were like $29 or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But anyways, let's see. Hasbro's penny. He's like, Hasbro's penny pitching Star Wars turned off a lot of collectors.
So that's true. If we can go back to Jonathan's comment, I agree. Unfortunately, I don't see it as just. I mean, it is their problem that they need to deal with. But frankly, this comes down to Lucasfilm too, and the result of high licensing fees. It is like it's eroding their customer base for collectibles, right? I think there needs to be a time when Lucasfilm takes a hard look in the mirror and says, like, in order to do things properly and keep people interested in our brand, they need to be asking less of Hasbro, I think.
Right. No, I get it. All right, so are you gonna buy this Knight Rider vehicle?
No, not for me. I'm too young to have watched.
All right. Did you pre-order the chimichanga?
I did.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Now, it has
Did
not.
you?
I did not. Deadpool's not necessarily one of my favorite Marvel characters at all. I'm actually not. I mean, I hate saying it, but I'm really not a Deadpool fan. Like,
fair enough.
Anyways, the accessories look really cool though. Like the chimichanga looks cool, but I'm not going to pay $50 for a chimichanga. And I'm looking at the articulation. I think it is pretty much the Maximum Series Spider-Man. I was looking at his back. He does have that like ab crunch thing. So
do you think it's the same body as Spider-Man?
It's got all the same articulation as the Spider-Man, basically.
The legs have to be different because the knife, like boots and straps. And
well, the outer molding, right? Like, I don't know.
Well, no, I think the lower legs would be, and feet would be different.
I think the articulation points are designed the same.
Yes.
Maybe I can say that.
Yes. Yeah.
So because I was looking at the body originally, and I could see that he's got this upper crunch, but I couldn't tell what he had from like between the waist, like if there was like going to be a waist swivel or like a thing. And then he does have that same ab crunch piece that the Maximum Series has from the waist, where he doesn't swivel at the waist necessarily. Or he does swivel at the waist, but he also has he doesn't swivel at the waist because he has that like waist crunch. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Anyways.
I want to ask you though, like, I like this. I obviously went in for this, but I was not expecting Deadpool to be next for Maximum Series.
Who are you expecting?
In my head, I was thinking Punisher would have been a really good choice. Or Wolverine.
Okay. And in my mind, I was thinking it was going to be Daredevil.
Daredevil would be another good choice. Yeah.
And
not that Deadpool's bad. I guess I just wasn't thinking about it.
Can I tell you what I think the coolest Maximum Series edition could be for me? would be
Okay.
Shang-Chi.
Oh,
To have like the martial arts guy, because the previous version was had a lot of good articulation,
the
but to
comic
have
one or the MCU?
the MCU, and
Okay.
then it was pretty good, right? To get a martial arts character super articulated, and then obviously come with like an extra head and like a boatload of accessories. I mean, obviously there's going to be a gazillion hands in there, right? But obviously you're going to throw extra stuff in there. But I think that would be a really good addition for a Maximum series. To me, that's just me.
I'd be interested if they'd ever do an MCU Maximum series. It
Yeah, it
Yeah,
would be really interesting to see if they did that, like bleed it over.
because other than Shang-Chi, I'm trying to think like who could they who'd be a good candidate for that.
Nerd alert is
Because
saying the Fantastic Four, the Mr. and Mrs. I mean, Mr. Fantastic could be a really interesting um,
yeah,
concept because of the ability to throw in bendy arms, bendy legs type of thing, right? Stretchable, bendy, this and that for extra arms and legs and stuff like that. That would be a whole different take on the Maximum idea because they didn't need to do like all this fancy articulation points. They would do more stuff like what they did with the movie version of Mr. Fantastic. And then instead of just giving you these arms, give you legs, give you different kinds of like hands that stretch also in addition to the arms. Because these bendy arms are actually kind of cool, right?
that so at face value, I agree with you. I think they're cool, but I have that figure too, and it's a bit of a pain to get like a a pose for me. Maybe it's just my problem. A pose that looks cool with just the arms, you know. I just end up having him like hug
Like that.
right, like it
Yeah.
just ends up being a bit weird, and he ends up toppling over. So I think if they were gonna do like Mr. Fantastic like that with the legs as well, they need to include a figure stand with that.
Mr. Fantastic tired, dragging his hands on his.
Just chair mode where his lap is the seat.
No, but I get it. There you go. Reed could have a lot. Yeah. What's he saying? Johnny from the new movie Flame On version. Yeah. If they see, the thing is, like, if you bought both of those Fantastic Four and you boil and pop them, you can really combo up your Flame On. You know what I mean? Between Johnny and stuff like that. Okay. So Maximum series, Deadpool came out. The Strong Guy came
I didn't
out.
go in. I didn't go in for this, but
Now,
I don't
here's
have all
why.
the X Factor stuff.
So I watch a lot of TikTok videos, and I got to tell you that I almost want this weight thing so that I can make a video of this guy working out, and then a guy in like a jumpsuit comes along mopping and
Oh, I know what you're
needs to mop
referring to.
underneath the weights. You ever seen this Anatoly guy that
Yeah,
like
yeah,
power
I've seen
lifts?
that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then I think that would be hilarious just to set up on the counter. And then this guy's holding the mop while the other guy's powerlifting.
yeah.
All right.
Or holding it up with one arm while he's mopping.
Yeah, yeah. Um, the Toy Collector magazine came out and showed off some Nekabin
Kiss.
Coopers. Kiss. I don't know. Is this old news or did I just see it recently? Because I feel like I just saw it and I saved it to my phone. I was like, I gotta save that in case so we can talk about
I don't follow these, but I want to say I thought I heard of them
it. Okay.
before. Maybe they weren't. Oh, I think I saw the guy who makes the Toy Collector magazine. I think I heard him talk about this on Toy Anxiety, I think,
Oh,
or
okay.
something
So
like that. Yeah.
Nekabin Cooper looks like Kiss is going to be part of the lineup. It looks cool. I like them. I probably buy these 4 just because. I only collect a few of the NECA Ben Coopers, and I did get a couple of the glow in the dark ones, but these ones I probably pick up just because. I mean,
Oh,
have you
did you see um I'm not sure if we talked about it, but didn't they have like Ben Cooper-esque like costumes in the Fantastic Four movie? Like
Yeah, I
kids,
think one of the kids was wearing a thing
the
or something
thing.
like that,
Yeah.
right?
Wasn't that kind of themed off of these?
Oh, maybe. Yeah, I think so. I think so. Yeah, that I think the thing one, yeah, was kind of a NECA Ben Cooper. Did you stay for the very end? The
Yes.
Okay, I didn't stay and watch the cartoon at the very end, but I
Okay.
watched it online like later. Um, all right, so NECA Ben Coopers. What about? I think this is a
Figure arts?
figure art Spider-Man.
I don't have any imports.
Okay,
It looks
it's,
cool.
yeah, it looks good.
Proportions look a little like I don't know.
Like he's a little bit like too buff or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think he's got the hourglass figure like that, really. I don't think his rib cage is that wide and has a waist that small.
Right. They got this Doctor Doom.
God Emperor Doom or something, right?
Yeah, my problem is, um, okay, so it's mostly reuse. I think that's Doctor Strange's cloak, and yeah, he looks cool. I didn't order it though, but it'll
I didn't go
probably
in for this.
what?
I didn't go in for this, but
Yeah,
I got the reissue of the uh Doctor Doom that they had a couple weeks ago.
yeah. So I have a feeling though that just like all the other Doctor Dooms, it seems like after they're gone, they become worth a bunch of money.
Mm.
Let's see. This is Mattel, right? Moss Man or
Looks like
whatever.
looks like like Swamp Thing and
Yeah,
Sasquatch had a baby.
come on.
What? Am I wrong?
I like the 2 hands though. This
Yeah.
this one like little mossy hand looks pretty cool. He's almost like a pirate though. He got it cut off. And I was always told that you shouldn't knife fight with the knife upside down. Like if you're gonna knife fight, you should hold it like regular knife fight. Like
Oh, really?
yeah, turning it like that like is not like
I always saw. Did you ever watch that? I'm not sure if it's still on, but there was this phase a few years ago when I watch on the History Channel Forged in Fire,
uh-huh.
the where they like forged knives and swords and stuff as a
Okay.
like reality show contest.
Oh,
And
okay, I've seen this thing. Yeah, where they
yeah,
then they gotta cut through stuff or whatever.
yeah, and the one of the judges, this guy Doug Marcaida, is like God, I can't remember the name of the Filipino kind of knife fighting style that he's like an expert in, but he always held knives out like that for
Okay.
fighting.
Well,
He'd be like
I
slicing and dicing like
I
that.
guess if
Yeah.
you're trained or whatever, but I always thought that that was like a stealth approach, attack and disable, and then if you were actually in a knife fight, you should turn the knives the other way.
Mm.
I don't know. I never
I
took
don't
knife
know.
fighting 101, so that's
I
just
don't. I don't
is
want
that.
to be in a position where I need to knife fight. So
I know. I'm gonna go home first. Um, Northern Nomads calling us suckers. Anyways, SH Figure Arts. It
that
looks
looks
good. I
good.
mean, look, it looks good.
The
The
robe
thing
doesn't look like some of the robes Hasbro does like ends up that like they end up being a bit like big.
clunky, like they were built for like a 12-inch figure.
Yeah, they just don't sit right, I think
Yeah.
is the
I
but
wonder if they
this
do that
looks
on
pretty good.
purpose because when they first sold that Luke Skywalker Jedi Knight in the black outfit for Kenner, he had that robe that didn't fit right either. It was
Mm.
all puffy. And I wonder if they were like, we should just stick with that tradition.
Hmm.
Anyways, this is figure arts. I think it looks nice. Mace there. Windu. What about this?
This
This was
looks
revealed.
this looks really cool. I get this, but I just need to be selective with what I get.
I was surprised because when I first saw it, I saw it on the card back, but I was surprised about the helmet coming off.
Mm.
Right? Like I thought that was a good touch
Yeah.
with revealing the head and stuff like that. So I'm glad. And then
Hellboy.
yeah, I can't remember. Oh, Boss Fight Studios has Hellboy figures, and I'll just go through them quickly here. And there's Hellboy. I think they look pretty good. And you know what? Boss Fight Studios is a pretty decent. They make pretty decent stuff. But the thing is, I can see this guy's going to be big, but it's like $65, so it's kind of a tough swallow. You know what I mean?
What scale is this? Do you know?
I think they're 6-inch figures, or at the 6-inch scale. But the thing is, oh yeah, so he's 7.5 inches, and this
But
little
that
dude,
still might be, like 6-inch scale because he's just a huge dude.
yeah, that's what. Yeah, he's 6 inches. So, and this dude over here, the little warthog dude, he's 4.5 inches. But I was under the impression that they are all $65 regardless of the size. Which is kind of weird to me that they price them like that, but then it doesn't surprise me after seeing the prisoner figures that we looked at where they were all like at that certain price point, regardless of whether it's a 2-pack or not.
That makes me nervous because of maybe it's just the picture, but the feet look so small, and
Yep.
those hips and knees and ankles would have to be super tight to not have the figure topple over because of the big right fist.
Yeah. It's
Unless they have like a lot of extra, unless they packed the tail with lead or something.
it'll be very interesting to see how this guy ends up standing. I agree with you.
Yeah.
So
But it
Hellboy,
looks cool. I assume this is based off like comic.
yeah, this
And
is the classic comic look. Then Mondo is coming out with, what is that? Sinister, Mr. Sinister, or whatever.
yeah,
And I love that picture of him and Cyclops there. I
yeah.
just thought it looked fantastic. So
Mondo's stuff looks great.
yeah.
I don't have any of it, but geez, this
Run
is
over
12
and
inch.
grab
This is 12-inch, right?
If I was still like a big 6-inch action figure collector, I probably have already been into this entire line, right? I'd be like struggling right now because I'd be like, oh man, I can't afford another one.
Yeah.
And then
I've
you
been
got
really tempted recently with all the Mondo, the real Ghostbusters, the 6-inch line that they
yeah.
have.
Are you getting those?
No, I've been real tempted though.
Oh yeah, it's tough, man. Once you get in, you can't get
It's
in.
just a space concern at this point. But
So my problem with this is they lost the license, and
yeah.
yeah.
Why bother? That's
Yeah.
where I'm at.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
And then I see the Batmobile.
Oh,
I'm like,
this isn't that. How many Batmobiles have they released since losing the license? Jesus Christ.
but I keep thinking to myself, like, I should have got that Batmobile 89. I should have got it. You know what I mean? Like, even though it was built for their 6-inch or whatever, or their 7-inch figures, it could easily scale with a 6-inch in a way. I saw that Ramen Toy is trying to redesign like the interior to give you 2 seats. But yeah, another Batmobile, and I'm like, man, I don't know. Should I have gotten all the Batmobiles? Yeah.
Yeah.
And then this is Hot Toys. So the Wednesday figure, I don't think the likeness is there personally. But
something's off about it. I think it's the jawline. I think they need to bring in the cheeks a little bit.
yeah, so So I think you're right. I don't think that the likeness on this Wednesday figure is where it's at. The hand looks cool, but it should be just they should just sell you the hand.
Mm,
I think that would be cool. You're not a hot toy collector.
no.
Okay, and then of course these were shown off at Comic-Con, but then they went up for pre-order. So there's the Storm and the Wolverine. I have that Storm, or I have that Wolverine basically here, right? In my this guy's a little bit browner, but this is the Wolverine that tells me I don't need that Wolverine, and this is the Storm that basically tells me I don't really need that Storm. But that Storm does have an alternate head sculpt that this one doesn't have, so it's kind of like a tough, you know what I mean?
I don't have either, so this was an easy buy for me.
Yeah, but it was a good 2-pack if you don't have them. Then I was like trying to figure out who they were selling with Iron Man when I just saw the pictures.
This,
You know what I
I
mean?
think, isn't this the Mandarin?
Yeah, but it was like when I was
It's
looking at the pictures, I was like, who was that guy with the long gray hair? Is
my
that
guess is
it's the
I don't,
Mandarin?
but it's from like a specific comic line where they
Probably.
like reimagined the Mandarin, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this picture right here, I'm not sure if they're dancing or not.
Well, I
Right?
think it's like the pose from Iron Man is just kind of
Ole! You know what I mean? Like I don't know what they're doing
it's
there.
almost like a Bollywood pose. Like
Uh-huh. I'm not making fun of the photographer. I am. And then they
it's not
have
the
this
photographer, it's whoever's posing it.
probably the guy who took the picture posed them.
Yeah, probably, but yeah.
All right. And then are you going to do these 5 POA
Nah,
Mezco Batmans?
no,
89s? I think Batman looks pretty
nothing.
cool. Probably be too expensive for me, but there's
That
the
that has
Joker.
to be more than 5 with the Batman
Yeah,
um with the cape, right?
yeah. But this cop or the bad guy figure or whatever, the police bad guy, it's 2 figures in one.
Oh, okay.
So that's a way to get you to buy 2 of them, right?
Yeah.
So you just swap the heads or whatever. That's kind of cool. But then it makes me wonder, how did they get Sergeant Slaughter to be part of the Batman 89 line?
I remember there was a guy that looked like that with the
Yeah.
big boombox though. I remember that. That's
Okay,
not
so it's not Slaughter.
no.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I wasn't sure. Anyways, and then they re-release. These are, I think, SH Figure Arts or whatever. They're re-releasing the.
Well, those came out recently too.
Yeah, they're going back up again. I think they just came up. I think they went up for sale this week. I'm just so those are re-releases of
Are those on
earlier.
Amazon?
I think so. I'm not 100% sure.
Hang
But
on.
everybody's having like a Labor Day sale this weekend. If you run over to Valaverse, they got like some percentage off. I saw that Profit was saying that you can get the Vanguard with all of the accessories for 127 bucks. If you run over to Icon Heroes, they have 30% off everything that's basically in stock, to include their Zujitsu Comic-Con exclusive, which they still have some of those in stock. I think there were only a few hundred of those produced, but I guess they still have a few. So, and then they have their comic. I got the comic, which I thought was kind of cool. Hold on. I got the hardback comic when I was there of their Zujitsu, and it's
Oh yeah.
Yeah, pretty good.
Nice.
But that's it. That's all I found. Did I miss anything that was important?
I'm trying to think. No. I think there was some other stuff with the role play stuff. They had the Shore Trooper helmet and the
Okay.
Wolverine mask.
So
I'm in for both.
I was told by the popcorn king of Massachusetts, that if you go to Regal right now, you can get a bunch of their popcorn buckets for like 50% off or something like that, or $15, and it's like buy one get one. So if you
Okay.
miss out on popcorn buckets, you can run down there and grab some. And at least in his area, he has those. He said the Fantastic Car popcorn bucket is now $15, and
Oh, no.
it's buy one get one. So theoretically, you could get two of those Fantastic Cars for $15. So that's $7.50 each to throw one behind your Fantastic Four figures. That looks pretty good. Or you can pick up something a little bit different. I have that Superman, uh, the Daily Planet news
Mhm.
in popcorn bucket, and I use it to keep all my Keurig K cups in it. So it's like next to
Okay.
my Keurig, and it's like getting your paper every day, but you get your little
Yeah.
Keurig pot out. So I have that, but that was AMC. But Regal has the 50% off. I keep meaning to like swing by and see if they have any more of those cars, because I thought if I go over there and check it out, could I like then cut the windows out and put clear windows on? Could I do more modifications that I didn't want to do to the only one that I got? But
Yeah.
pretty good. So, and
Are
then
are
like,
you gonna get some more to cannibal like
yeah,
take parts and do? Yeah.
I was thinking about going and getting another one just to like hot knife the windows and see what other mods I can do to make it more usable as a car, right?
Right.
Um, and then be able to keep mine safe. You know what I mean? Like I could still keep the one that I did.
Right.
Prophet saying no Fantastic Cars near him. The deal was probably enough to clean them out. Yeah, I'm gonna go check it out, but I'm pretty sure like I'm gonna be out of luck too. Um, are you going to see Jaws in the theater?
No.
Apparently, they have like a sippy cup that looks like a barrel.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so that's kind of cool.
Okay.
And then at Comic Con, they had a Regal booth there, or AMC booth, where you could get like the Herbie popcorn bucket, and you can get all the AMC ones or whatever, or the
Mm,
Regal one. Yeah, the AMC ones. They had a DeLorean popcorn bucket, and I almost got it, but it was a little bit too small for 6-inch figures. That's why I didn't get it, because I was going
mhm.
to try to do the
Right.
same thing. Um, but apparently that was like a preview, because from my understanding, on October 31st, Back to the Future is at its 40th anniversary going to be in theaters, and that popcorn bucket is going to be available when Back to the Future goes back to the theaters at the end of October.
Nice. I can't
Yeah.
I can't remember what else is coming to the theater that I really want to see.
Yeah, that's the tough part, is like, do I want to go see Back to the Future in the theater, or should I just pop it up on my Apple TV again? Right.
Yeah, for it would take a lot for me to really want to go to the theater again to see a movie. The only movies I think I'd do something like that for would be like Star Wars, Indiana Jones, and like Ghostbusters,
Right.
probably with my kids with if they were older. I don't think I'd go back for myself just because it's like,
Right.
well, I've got them at home.
So last week we didn't have a show. I'll tell you what I was doing. My brother and his wife took me and my wife to the Hollywood Bowl, and we saw the LA Symphony Orchestra, led by David Newman, playing a celebration of John Williams. So basically, it was a live orchestra, and then some of the songs had like movie clips playing on the screen. And they did stuff from like E.T., from Jaws. It was everything like John Williams did. E.T., Jaws. They did Far and Away. There was a thing from Far and Away. Um, then they did basically Indiana Jones, and Star Wars was like basically the second half. And they
Nice.
did three encores, which was really cool. And I got to tell you, I've never seen anything like that before. But like sitting and listening to that music live while the thing was playing was like, I was just like, man, I want to get home and watch Star Wars again. It was
Yeah.
like the craziest thing, right? Um, I did put up a couple of short videos about it, but I didn't do any like put up a lot. But yeah, everybody had a lightsaber in the audience. There were like hundreds of lightsabers like lighting up every time like a Star Wars song played and stuff like that. it was actually really cool. It was a really cool experience.
Nice.
Yeah. So if you have anything like that in your area, I recommend it. I mean, like, I never thought I would enjoy it like I did, and I'll probably go back. So
I'm probably in your camp. That every now and then the Chicago Symphony Orchestra comes to the venue in my hometown, and they do those types of scores and whatnot. Even if it's for a movie, like if it was like they have the Star Wars ones, I never thought it would really be for me. I'd be like, that would get boring after a while. But I think as I've gotten older, maybe be a bit more open to trying it. So it looked like it was a good time
yeah, it was
from the
actually really,
pictures you
really
shared.
cool. Like some of it, I was kind of like, oh, okay, I hope the whole night's going to be like this, because they didn't show video clips to everything, right? It was like basically you
Yeah.
can see different parts of the orchestra like firing up when they were playing. But then when they hit like the key movies, right? Like when they did the Superman theme, what they did was they just showed like basically like a celebration of John Williams
hmm
doing stuff and working with all these directors, shots of him, like background
Yeah,
footage.
yeah,
But when they did the Indiana Jones and the Star Wars, they had a full compilation video that was like 6 or 7 minutes, of this video playing while they're playing timed. They're timing themselves because they got to hit all the right spots.
right.
So to me, that like adds to it a little bit. And then they threw in one. They did the theme for Mission Impossible because I guess John Williams said, hey, can you do this Mission Impossible? Because the guy who wrote it died this year. And so to kind of celebrate that guy, they did the theme for Mission Impossible, which was actually kind of cool.
That's cool.
Yeah. So it was fun.
Nice. Whenever I see the holiday, the Hollywood Bowl, I always think of, for me, the most memorable Hollywood Bowl performance is the Monty Python one. I always think of. Have you ever seen that?
No, I haven't.
I'd recommend it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go check it out. So they have a thing in San Diego called the Shell. It's the Rady Shell, and it's out in the harbor, and it's basically the same thing but for San Diego. And I was looking at it, and then I was like, oh. They have a celebration of 90s music that's coming up. And I was like, oh, I wonder what that would be like. You know what I mean? To go see an orchestra playing like Manic Monday or something. I don't know. Oh, that's 80s, isn't it? I think I stopped listening to music in the 90s. Anyways, okay, we talked your guys' ears off. Anyways, those were the reveals and stuff that happened this week on the Toy Duo team. We will be back next week to talk more action figures and reveals and stuff like that. And as always, everybody, have a fantastic weekend.
Back to that.
Back to that. It's not a dream project.
Back to that.
When you have a
by these lasers.
when you don't know what new is coming.
Look, there it is. Not getting funded. Boom! Oh, get funded.
Just